Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Alpha Dean, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Now today, unfortunately, I am going to be the bearer of bad news, and that is because we've had information in regards to the Champion Chase tournament that's coming on, and that is the doubling your chances of receiving legendary champions from Sacred Shards. So the 2x is actually going to be on Sacred Shards, which is absolutely awful if you've gambled for this. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. They're giving us a 10x chance of summoning Fimo. You know, 10x chance, garbage. Chance that you were hitting on a 10x, absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's just not going to happen majority of the time. So, who is Fimo then? He is from the Argonites. I'm not going to go over his kit or anything. I haven't looked at his kit. I haven't even looked at him. He does look pretty cool. What's this in the back? Is he some sort of... That looks like Pan the Bowhorn. Is that who this is supposed to be in the sack? Kind of cool. I do like the aesthetics on him, but they tend to do a good job with this anyway. He does look a little bit different. I haven't gone over his kit or anything like that. I mean, they do look kind of lengthy. I'm not going to go over this. I don't really think that it's important. It would be interesting. I don't really read people's laws, but it would be interesting to see if there's anything in regards to panning here. I've just had a quick scan. I can't really see out there. Is he any good? It looks like he's a decent champion, to be fair, but there's loads of other champions that I wouldn't mind as well, and things that are going to advance my account. Look at the scratch marks on his shield. Really nice. Yeah, save that for another day. This isn't about that. It does look like a good champion, to be fair. If he's any good or not remains to be seen. And the chances of you getting him anyway are slim to none. So they are offering us a 10x on him. Sacreds are not going to be great at all for people that are going for this 2x. You know, for the champion chase, 2x on Sacreds, absolutely awful. I did release a video on this saying that this could ruin the fusion for you. So if you was low on resources, that you should have participated in the Summon Rush event. Now, I actually took the gamble and I thought, sod it, I'm going to just see if we do get the 2x Ancients or not. I knew that it was either going to be 2x Ancients or 2x Sacreds. Unfortunately, it isn't 2x on your Ancients, right? And this just makes it so much harder to get points, because we're only going to get 250 points majority of the time. As you can see, it's only a 6% chance of us getting a legendary champion. 94% of the chance we are going to get an epic. So in a summon rush, these are valued at 500 points per shard. We're only going to be getting 250 points majority of the time from this type of shard. So it is a 2x, but the chance that you're getting a legendary still, they're not very good. And I don't really pull these on 2x's. I do save them normally for summon rushers. So yeah, not great value from these Sacred Shards. Wherever you can get points without using these, I would highly recommend that you do that. So for myself, like I said, I've got other means to get points. I mean, if this was 2x Ancients, you can see the value from this. It'd go from an 8% chance to a 16% chance. If you're pulling 10 of these, chances are you're going to get, what, I think average is about 2 epics per 10 pull. So you're getting more than your 500 points just in a 10 pull of Ancients. So it would have been great if it was this and we would have flew through it. That's why for me it was just worth the gamble. I wasn't sure where we was at in it, but yeah, unfortunately it is Sacreds, like I've just said. It's not good value at all to be pulling your Sacred Shards. However, as you can see from mine, I have got 4 of these Remnant summons, so I've got 1,000 points there. I've got 2, I think, in this summon pool, so there's another 250. I've got loads of these fragments that I can pull here, and that's why I wasn't worried about it. Now, every one of us should have 200 of these fragments or more, depending on where you're at in the tournaments and whatnot that's going on at the minute, and if you did the summon rush. So by the time that the champion chase is at a close, you should have 3 of them. So that's another 750 points there. Now, the other areas that you can do to get points is going to be areas such as summoning from mystery shards. Now, this isn't going to be ideal, but if you've got lots of these mystery shards, It is going to be time consuming, that's why it's not going to be ideal. It is tedious, you know what pulling mystery shards is like. However, we have got this champion training alongside it, so it's not the worst spot, and it's actually fell on quite decent for you to do that. And the reason that that's going to be pretty good is because a lot of us, we do run 12-3, that's the place that we run for us XP and whatnot, and as you can see, it does drop champions, so you'll get 1 point for your uncommon and you'll get 10 points per each of these rares that you get. Now yes, it's not great, but it is something. Also, if you've been watching my channel, you'll see what I've been doing is I have been doing these Broadmoors, and I have been leveling up these uncommons. So I've been doing this in anticipation of this event, just in case it was this 2x Sacreds, and that way I'd be able to get 50 points for each one of these. So on both of these, so I've leveled enough of these guys. I have done more of some than others. I think I just already had some of them done, but I've done 5. So as you can see, I did up to 5 on here. Them I must have had more of. Him, got 5. Here, I've got 5. So I can fuse 5 of these, that's 250 points. And I think I did the same for these. I must have already had some of him. So more than 5 there. 5 here. 5 here. And 5 here. So that's another 250 as well. So another 500 points there. I haven't got enough to do any of these Broadmoors because I am missing this guy. I don't want to sacrifice this one because for some reason I have done him like beyond where he needs to be at, and I just don't want to. If needs must though, I will sacrifice him. I don't want to, but if needs must I will, and I have got enough to do one of these relic keepers. So as you can see here, okay, I've actually got enough to do 2. I thought that I only had enough to do 1. I don't think this guy is very good value, to be fair. I think if you can, Broadmoors are a lot more value. You do get 350 points for a Broadmoor, and you've only got to level these to level 30 with your Ascensions as well. This guy you've got to mess about for your level 40s, and in future I don't think that I'm going to bother with this guy. I am just going to concentrate on my Broadmoors. So yeah, I don't think this guy's much worth it. However, for situations such as what I'm finding myself in now, it is okay to do. But yeah, that's going to be the way that you are moving forward for this. Pulling your mystery shards and doing your 12-3 in campaign, hoping to hit some of those rare champions. You can pull your mystery shards like I said. So don't do this today, by the way. This is all starting tomorrow, your champion chase. And just try and avoid these Sacred Shards. Now if push comes to shove, we would have had to have pulled 6 of these Sacred Shards anyway in the summon rush. So if needs be, those six Sacreds that you're pulling, pull them. You know, that's the difference between you getting this champion and not getting him. Pull six Sacreds. I'd pull 6 Sacreds for it. You know, but I would do this last. I'd make up any points that you can from the aspects of what I've just showed you. So in your fusion thing here with your Broadmoors, your relic keepers, even if you've got Mikage pieces, don't forget they can work as well. You have got your fragment ones, like I've just said. So you should have 3 of these by that point of before that comes to a close to get. So make sure any of that you're doing, your remnant summons, your summon pool if you've got it, and then in regards to this tournament. So I will just use the Dragon Tournament here as an example because obviously I can't click on this, it's not open until tomorrow. So the real challenge for this is going to come on how these points for the fragments are actually distributed along here. So it could be the fact that it's quite easy still for us to do on this champion chase and we could all just be worrying for nothing. So in an ideal world, right, what they do, I don't think this is going to happen, by the way, but if you look at the spacing on here, there's not actually that much rewards. There's not that many places that they can squeeze in 75 points. So they're not going to clump them together, I don't think. I don't think I've ever seen them twice where there have been fragments and then fragments again for the very next reward. I do believe that this fragment here is going to remain in this spot. I don't think that they're going to put one in the top position, and what I can see them doing, or actually what I'm hoping that they do first, is I imagine what they do is they put 25 here. Like I said, they're not going to put them together. They're not going to do one as the bottom reward. So I can imagine they'll put 25 here, 25 here, and then 25 here, ideally. Right? If they do that, we're laughing. We can just get to this mark here and then stop. Right? We don't need this extra 25 fragments. We can skip it and we can just do a Gear Hunter. So we'll just do the next Gear Hunter instead. I was going to skip that one as well as the Summon Rush. However, if they do lay it out like that, that's what I'll do. I'll do this, I'll collect this fragment as well, that's my 50 done, and I'm done with it. I'm not pulling anything else, laughing, right? I can't see them doing that. So what else could they possibly do then? What I can see them doing is they'll do it like this. Where this chicken is, I think this will be your first 25 lot of fragments, and then they'll leave 2 spots like that, and then I think that they'll throw in a full 50 up here. Now this is the worst case for a lot of people, I think. So if they do that, you're gonna have to go all the way to this top mark. You can't skip 50. We've already skipped 25 in the Summon Rush. So it's all going to depend on how this is spaced out. So we're going to have to grind like hell to get this 50, if that's what they do, put 50 up here. And if not, I think that we'll have it fairly easy. I can't see them putting it as a top reward, like I said. I think that this is going to be your top one. If it's 50 or 25, is going to be the difference between if we're laughing at the gamble, if it's paid off, or if it's actually gone to crap. So the only thing really is we're going to have to wait till tomorrow to find out exactly how this is laid out, and I just wouldn't stress about it until we've actually got that information. Like I said, there is means of getting these points anyway. It's just going to be a lot harder if this is your 50 and you've got to work your way all the way to the top. So I have gone over that now, what it is to do in regards to your mystery shards, in regards to summoning from these fragments, in regards to remnants, all that lot. I'm not going to go over it again, but yeah, don't fret too much about it today. Wait and see what the points are going to be like tomorrow, and that's going to be it for the video, guys. I hope that you found it useful. Give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next one.